Now we hug a little longer, yeah, we kiss a little stronger. Treat our neighbor and a stranger as our friend. Yeah, we're all a little kinder. Let the earth be a reminder. We're hoping baby grow love has no end. For all we know, we didn't know. We learned it all the year we stayed home.
Oh, Skylar Faith, here we go. What episode are we on?
Episode 69.
What? That's impossible.
I'm so glad that you are keeping track of what episode we are for all of these episodes. Look at that. It's homeschool and math. That's what it is. Hi, welcome to Randy's Live. It is Thursday, Thankful Thursday to be exact, and it is episode 69. How did we get here? Well, we started at 1, that's how, and we never stopped. We came every evening to you, even during a power outage. And it's been our pleasure to do this. So if you're just checking in for the first time, this is how it went down. Shortly after the tornadoes that hit Nashville, everything here sort of stopped. We were spared, luckily. Then the pandemic happened and things really, really stopped. And I was itching to reach out to my friends and community, so I looked over at my little party of 3, and I said to my cameraman, graphics department, sound engineer, director, hospitality, what else? Production coordinator. My goodness. Talent booker. That's my husband, Andrew McGinnis.
Wait a minute.
And I said to him, hey.
I just turned it on me.
Oh, did you? Look at us getting fancy. And I said, hey, we should go live every night and check in on our people. We should do that. And we did. And I said we should do it every night, thinking that maybe we would be at this for like 2 weeks or something. And hey, guess what? We've been at this for a long, long time. That was a long time ago. See what I did there? Anyway, but we have been very blessed to do that. So my cameraman, and then of course we would be lost without our audience of 1, and my stage manager. Did you think I forgot? How can I forget? Skylar Faith McGinnis.
What?
Oh, you did
Wow.
She did like a
She's
voice.
doing voices.
This is what happens. We're like a vaudeville show now. Thanks. Here we are.
Wow.
Just us. Anyway, so it's been a blessing for us to be here. We always like to start by saying we realize how lucky and blessed we are that we are here in our home with a roof over our heads, and that we're healthy and that we're safe. And we know that that's only possible because of the hard work of the people on the front lines and everyone that keeps us safe every day. So thank you to everyone out there doing their jobs so well. We don't take it for granted ever. But we've enjoyed this time connecting with you. Every night we reach out to my friends from all over the place. We're international now, you know. We're international. All over the place, and we let them know that we love them, and we check in virtually to kind of see like where they are, what's going on where they live, what they're doing, what's happening. It's been eye-opening, it's been heartbreaking, it's been invigorating and inspirational, and we're going to do it tonight for Thankful Thursday, and then we're going to do it tomorrow on episode 70, which will be our last, sad face, nightly show. It will not be our last live, it's just going to be our last consecutive live because I'm tired. No, that's not true. It's just, you know, the world is changing, things are slowly and carefully opening up, and so we knew that we couldn't possibly continue to do this every single night, but we're not going to just leave you high and dry. We're going to come to you. I'll talk about that later. We're going to come to you and see you on a semi-regular basis, but we're not there yet. We've got 2 more to do, so let's get cooking and see who's on. Jamie, so nice to see you. Ryan's here. Hi, Mary Lou. Hi. Oh, my goodness. Holly's on. Colin's on. We have Pennsylvania, California, New Mexico, Washington, Los Angeles, both the Carolinas. Hey, I'm happy to see all of you. New Jersey representing. Remember that that there's a little bit of lag, so if I don't shout out your name, it's just because I didn't see it yet. Maybe Andrew did, but I'm not sure. So we'll start really, really quickly with what we did today. What did we do today? We had breakfast. I did house cleaning. I did kitchen cleaning. I did laundry. You have to do that no matter what's happening. Even if the world is sort of semi-shut down, you're still doing that stuff. And Skylar Faith, what did you do? Did you ride you tell me.
I rode my bike.
Mm-hmm.
And he was watching me from the car. Also, let him make my own.
Thank you. That's right. I don't hold on to you anymore.
Without
That's right.
training wheels. That's
Yeah.
big news. That's a big deal over here. We're super
Huge.
excited about that. Good job, honey. Good job. This little one, off school the first week of March and then never returned, collected her things, missing her friends, missing her family. She's super resilient, and if I haven't said how thankful and grateful I am for my daughter, then I'm going to say that right now. You've been amazing. You've been just so much fun to be around. You've really handled this whole thing fantastic. I know it's been hard, no summer camp for you, not being able to check in with the people that you love, although soon. But I'm grateful for her. Thankful Thursday, that's right. Hey, Larry's on. Hey, Amanda. Oh, another Larry is on. So cool. So tonight I'm going to do something brand new for you. I'm going to do a song that I've been working on for a few weeks, maybe 10 to be exact. I had an idea and I finally finished it, put it together. Here's the deal. It's my, how do I explain it? It's, this is a hard time we're living through. It's not easy, and we don't know if we're in the middle of it, if we're close to the end of it, if we're still sort of in the beginning of it. We don't know. But if you've been following my songwriting and me for a little bit of time, then you know one of the things I like to do is use my my songwriting like a crystal ball, and I try to look into that crystal ball, and I try really hard to imagine what things are going to be like when we come out on the other side. It's kind of a recurring theme. And so if I could do that right now, I have seen not just, through the eyes of my beautiful child and my husband and myself, but also through all of your eyes and through our guests' eyes. I've seen this hope and this silver linings, and even though there's a lot heavy going on, this is kind of what I'm wishing happens when we come out the other side. So this is a brand new song. You've been hearing it on our little open. Here's the rest of it, I guess. Remember when we couldn't go outside? And even if we did, the space between us felt a mile wide. With our hearts 6 feet apart, we held each other with our eyes. Remember when we could learned the year that we stayed at home. And I know it hasn't been a year, but it's felt like it in some ways, for good and for bad. And it's so good to be here with you guys. We have a great show lined up for you tonight. It is Thankful Thursday, and I've got some people I'm very thankful for. And our first guest this evening is someone that I've been trying to coordinate having on for a bit now, and I'm so glad that he could be with us tonight virtually. Greg Miraglia is a part of the Matthew Shepard Foundation, vice president of the board of the Matthew Shepard Foundation. And for those of you that's been on this musical journey with me for a long time now, you know how important that organization is to me, and their entire pledge to change lives and to end hate, to erase hate really, and to just empower us all to be better people. So my relationship with Greg started just a little bit ago. We've been friends for years. He's doing some incredible work, and it just so happened that this was the day that he was able to come on, so I'd like you to hear what he has to say. He's doing some pretty incredible things, just to teach love and end bullying and help with hate crime legislation and all the good things that we need to remember right now. So this is my friend, Greg Miraglia.
Hey everybody, hi Randy, it's great to see your face.
It's great to see your face. Tell everyone who's watching and everyone online tonight with us where you are calling in from.
Well, all the way on the West Coast in Santa Rosa, California.
So of course, I have to start with my connection to you, and it's through the Matthew Shepard Foundation.
Yeah.
Our longtime friendship and your work with them, which continues and all that you do. Can you speak on that a little bit for my friend?
So we met really a couple of years after Matt was murdered. You got involved right away, and you wrote that amazing song, What Matters. And I had a chance to see a documentary that was made about Matt's murder, and then you were performing that song. It had just really come out, and I was drawn to have you come out to Napa Valley College, and we did that great assembly for our community. We had over 1,000 people attend to hear Judy Shepard speak and to hear you sing.
I remember, it was beautiful, and that was sort of the beginning of your long-time relationship. And how you started working with the foundation, doing these programs for, speaking on behalf, a board member, vice president, the whole thing. And interestingly enough, your history is actually in law enforcement. So speak a little bit of how those two worlds came together and how that's such a part of your life now.
Yeah, well, I started working in law enforcement in high school as a cadet and then fell in love with the profession. But I learned very early on, as I like to share the story, that being gay in law enforcement was not acceptable. And so I remained very closeted for many, many years, and it was Matt's story that really inspired me to be able to come out. And now it's like completely opposite, because law enforcement is still, I think, way behind in terms of its acceptance, but I'm teaching LGBT awareness courses for law enforcement that I would have never imagined doing. But it was very much Judy's words and your music that was an inspiration for me.
Oh. During this time that we're all sort of indoors and going through social isolation and moving slowly back into opening up, what I'm noticing more and more through the news cycle, certainly on social media, is that there is this level of hatred that seems to be bubbling up to the surface. I'm struggling with trying to figure out why, in a time when the country is so much in need of unity, why there's this terrible level of hate coming up. Can you talk to us a little bit about that and what your thoughts are?
Yeah, I think it really goes back to the shift that began in 2016. So we had 8 years of a lot of progress, and in 2016 that shifted, and hate crime statistically began to increase. And you couple that and the division that we have, we have immigration now is being made the enemy, and so immigrants are being targeted. We have conservative religious factions that are continuing to blame LGBTQ people for every disaster that happens, including COVID. And so couple that with the anxiety that everybody's feeling right now about the uncertainty of the future, astronomical high unemployment, And so there's a lot of anger and a lot of angst, I think, that folks are feeling, and they're lashing out.
And now in the news recently, we've seen our brothers and sisters of color coming, under these many different kinds and types of murders. And is there something that you've seen in your time of doing this work, something that you think could be helpful to speak to all of us that are thinking, is there something we can do?
That's a big question, right? And so, part of this problem right now that we're in too is that there is a problem trusting law enforcement. I'll just put it right out there. I think we are becoming very disconnected, and we're seeing more and more incidents happen. The most recent one up north in Minnesota, it's really quite problematic. And as a law enforcement person, I am troubled, deeply troubled, and thoroughly embarrassed every time something like this happens. The reaction, the community's reaction to all of that is symbolic of an overall lack of trust and a lack of faith in law enforcement. And there are so many reasons about that, but we talk about this extensively in my community policing classes. It's everything from a lack of representation in the rank and file, to a lack of leadership, to a lack of training. And so it's that piece of it needs desperate work, for sure. But there is a disconnect, and that disconnect between people of color and majority groups is really being furthered and encouraged by the leadership in this country. We have to come together, but it's going to require leadership at the top that facilitates and encourages that to happen.
Really groundbreaking work that you've done, especially talking to law enforcement about these issues, and it's incredible. So tell us what you're working on right now.
We've been doing anti-bullying work. So Matthew Shepard Foundation right now is very much focused on training law enforcement on how to detect, document, and prosecute hate crimes. So that work is continuing, super important. So I was fortunate, I had a legislator in California who carried a bill that I wrote through the legislature. We got it passed to require LGBT awareness training for all California law enforcement. It's the first law of its kind in the country.
You also are a radio host.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so we have a PBS station, KRCB, here in the North Bay that has run LGBT programming for really its entire history, 25 plus years. And I had the chance to join that team 10 years ago. It seems like yesterday, but it's been 10 years. Doing a news magazine style show called Alpine News in Depth. And so we look at what's happening currently. And you mentioned some great people. Scott Lowell was a friend of yours, a wonderful guy. He played Ted Schmidt on Queer as Folk. And, he's another example of someone like you who's making good use of this time to make the world a better place. He took on doing a 20th anniversary reunion show for Queer as Folk.
Oh, insane.
I know, and he raised a ton of money for Centerlink, which is a nonprofit that supports LGBT centers. So, there's plenty of people out there like you that are doing good work, and that's what I think will make the difference.
Oh, it's so good to see you. Thank you for your continued passion and just all that you do to make the world better and to educate at a time when I think it's so necessary. And we'll get through this together. And I love you very much. Big hug to the puppies and to Tony, okay? And
back to you. You all be safe.
We will.
Hey!
That's our friend, Greg Miraglia. So nice to check in with him. He has been, he's played a critical role in the work of the Matthew Shepard Foundation just by spreading the word of love and erasing hate and their message of anti-bullying, which has been something that I've been doing through my music for my relationship with them for some time now, and something that I truly believe in. So I appreciate him coming on tonight and checking in a little bit. Glad we were able to get him in, and I'm thankful for all of the people out there that are doing work like that. Matt's story really spoke to Greg and affected him, and he said it was a little bit of a longer interview, but he said further on in that he's grateful that he was able to know Matt's story so that he could understand what it means to carry on this work, how important it is, and he's forever grateful to Judy and Dennis, as am I, for sort of paving the way. And it's a time to love one another, and I know my crew, we know my tribe, and I know that's what you all do. I know that you all lead with love. And I'm grateful to know you, and I'm grateful you're here. So speaking of people who lead with love, it's kind of a perfect segue. I'm super happy tonight because I have been trying to get my next guest out of the holler for a long time. I have been trying to get him to come down the mountain, but he ain't coming down the mountain. Well, at least he wasn't. So how do I talk about my relationship with Tim Flannery? Well, I can tell you that Tim Flannery was well known and is well known in the sports world. A Padre, and then a coach for the World Series winning Giants, San Francisco Giants. But while that was all going on, Tim has an incredible career as a musician. He's a beautiful singer-songwriter with incredible lyrics, heart like you wouldn't imagine, and some of the best stories that I've heard on stage. It was funny because I was listening back to this interview that I did with Greg earlier today, and I knew that I was going to be talking about Flan next, and I had to bring up this story that a lot of you have heard me tell, but years ago Flan was asked to do a baseball benefit with a lot of really big name baseball celebrities, I would call them. People entertaining were like Bonnie Raitt and Jackson Brown and Tony Orlando, and Tim. And I was playing in Tim's band at the time, and I was singing with him. We were doing duets, and I was singing backup. And he had 3 songs that evening, and he asked if one of those songs that we performed would be "What Matters," which is the song that Greg was speaking of, the benefit single that I wrote for the Shepard Foundation. And it really spoke to me that night because what Tim was doing was he was crossing the world of sports with this whole message of love and anti-bullying, and he was using that time to express something that was really important to him. Flan and I have been friends for a really long time. Doesn't surprise me at all that many years later, after the crime that happened, the terrible violent crime that happened to Brian Stowe at Dodger Stadium, where he was injured, he was hurt so tragically, that Tim stood up and jumped in and said, I have to do something. And now Tim has this beautiful foundation that he created with his beautiful wife Donna called the Love Harder Project. And what do you think their message is? Well, it's anti-bullying, it's anti-hate, it's all of the things that I'm not surprised at all that he's doing. They go into schools, they assist people who have been victims, they're doing incredible things. I'm going to put all of that information in the comments below. And he raises the money for this charitable foundation through his music and through his singing. And it's just another way that he pays it forward. So when we started doing this live, of course, I said, well, Tim's going to be on. I'm sure Tim's going to be on. He's going to sing something, and crickets. But there's a reason. Tim was hard to get a hold of. Well, guess what? Coming down right to the wire. Please welcome my friend coming at ya. I'll let him tell the rest. This is Tim Flannery.
Hey everybody, hi. I'm up here off the grid with solar and satellite, so I can't do Facebook Live and all of that, but I've been watching Randy for the last 70 nights. I've actually been watching for the last 20 years. We've been singing together, so it's unbelievable. Relentless love. Doesn't surprise me. And here's a song that we used to sing together. Randy, you might have to do some of it. I don't know how long my satellite will work. Here's a wishing well. Here's a penny for any thought it is that makes you smile. Every diamond ring, everything that brings love and happiness to your life. Here's a rabbit foot. Take it when you go, so you'll always know you're safe from harm. And wear those ruby shoes when you're so far away, so you'll always be home in your heart. You'll always have a lucky star that shines because of what you are. is deepest dark, because your aim is true. If I could only have one wish, darling, it would be like this. For love and happiness for you. If I could only have one wish, darling, it would be like this. For love and happiness for you. She used to call that the flanding, the way I end songs. Love harder, everybody.
That's Tim Flannery. Thank you, Flan, so much for doing that. Thanks for finding some sort of Wi-Fi ability there. You have the right idea, my friend. He's long gone. He got the news and he went off the grid. He has the right idea. I think he probably has everything he needs right where he is. And that's a song for those of you that don't know. That's Love and Happiness. I could talk for about an hour about that song, but it's a duet that we do a lot, and I can't wait until the two of us can do it again together in real time. And I remember I was going through some stuff. Someone was just talking about the CD 365 Days here on Facebook, and our duet a long time ago on that CD. But right before I made that CD, I was going through a pretty dark time, and Flan told me two things that I love. One was just move your muscles and change your thoughts, and that's true. So there you go. There's a little something. You can hashtag that or fortune cookie it. But he also came over to me one day, and I was kind of really sad and just couldn't really just get out of bed. And he came over to me and he said, I have a duet I want to do. I want to do the song. And there was something about the words of that song and him singing it to me and bringing it to me that sort of changed my perspective, so it's always meant a whole lot to me. And I've been in Flan's band for a long time, so long in fact that I wanted to show you this. This is one of our original t-shirts. It's the Friends Tour 2000, 2001. Who's that? Who is that? That's Flan. That's Flan's brother, Tommy. Who's the girl in the cowboy hat?
Mm-hmm.
That's Mom. Who is that? Is that Mama? Oh, wow,
You.
wow. She's
Wow.
like completely
Totally excited.
off the rose. Yeah, she's
You.
like, that's you. With a cool hat. I love it. Do I still have that?
You still
hat?
have
Where's
that.
hat?
It's in the closet.
And then I love the back because it's got like the tour dates. I love this so much. Look at that. Where were we going that year? We made it all the way to Phoenix, New York, Ocean Beach, San Diego, Hillcrest, El Cajon, Cambria, Cave Creek.
Golden Hills?
Nice. Good reading. Yes, it was. We've had a really good ride. So please check out. I'm going to try to do it if I can during the next segment. Put the information for the Love Harder Project. Check out what they're doing. They've got merch you can buy. Find out how you can help them end bullying. Find out what you can do. Find out, these are people doing really good things. These are people out there trying to, celebrate love and stop violence. And, like I was saying before in my interview with Greg, that we were talking a little bit about it, and there's a lot going on right now, and we are all just trying to not catch this virus and care for the people that have caught it and get our businesses back going. But hate doesn't seem to really take a break is one of the things that I've noticed. And in times like this, when things are even more stressful and we're all feeling, it's really good to check in on one another, that we're remembering how to love harder. So that's my friend Tim Flannery. Let's see who is joining us. Oh, hey! Oh, see Anna, Michaela. Nice to see all of you in New Jersey. Vanessa, hey! Garrett's here. Oh my gosh, we are all over the place tonight. Pennsylvania's on. Hey, it's 69. Can you believe that? One more. One more. I know, we're all gonna cry. Tomorrow is Fun Friday. We've got a really fun show for you with great recaps of all the things that we've been doing. And jazz hands, no, maybe not jazz hands, but mixing with McGinnis. We've got Skylar Faith. We've got lots of things that Daddy's working on. He's gonna be up all night. But aren't you glad you're an editor now?
Oh,
the
that's great.
pay is fantastic.
That's right.
No, but I thank you a lot. I do thank you.
Thanks, Original Productions.
Thanks,
It
okay.
is fantastic.
But we're so happy that you could be joining us, and we're glad that you've been able to be here. So one of the things that I've done for 69, how many 69 episodes, is that I've checked in with these guests from all over the world, and I've asked them these 3 questions. And we're going to revisit some of the questions tonight. So Noah Heldman is gonna talk to us for just a second here. It's interesting. Noah was my first guest, and it's because I came up with this grand idea, and I thought, you know what I want to do? I want to check in with Noah because he's my longtime musical partner. We've been touring around this country playing music together for forever. He is my band in a bag, and if you've seen us play together, you know what I'm talking about. He's a multi-instrumentalist, plays everything, and gets it all nicely into the overhead. No, not really, but kind of. And so the first night that we ever did this, we checked in with his beautiful family in San Diego, and we said, hey, tell us some things. What's been the hardest part of this time of isolation? What's been the best part of this time of isolation? And what have you learned? So I wanted to revisit that in the next 2 nights. So now we're going back to our first ever guest on Randy's Live. We asked him if he wanted to say anything about those 3 questions. So this is what he wanted to say. He answered the second question for us. This is from Noah.
Hi everybody. The hardest thing for me during this pandemic is seeing people not taking it seriously. Of course, there's a range of how conservative you can be, like never leaving the house versus practicing proper social distancing and wearing a mask when you're near other people. But to me, ignoring recommendations when someone's life might be at stake just doesn't make sense. It's confusing here in San Diego too. Gatherings of even 2 people who are not in the same household are not allowed, but dining in restaurants is allowed, even for people who are not in the same household. It's confusing. And we know pretty reliably that people who are talking face-to-face without masks are among the most at risk, so why not avoid it until we know we're clear? My family is incredibly fortunate in that we can work from home, and my heart breaks for all of the people who have lost jobs or have been financially impacted by this. I hope we continue to find ways to support each other, lift each other up, and heal this divide.
Oh, you see why he's been my musical partner for tens of years? That's Noah Heldman speaking from the heart. And it's interesting, I came up with this idea for the first episode that I would ask people these 3 questions, and I would ask the same 3 questions or some variation of, and we've pretty much done it with our well over 100 guests that we've had on the show so far. And it's interesting, I knew that this would change, because when I thought we were looking at something that might be 2 or 3 weeks, you know, our answers are very different. One of the other things that we've really come to light is that we are all going through the same experience, and we're all having a very different experience with that experience, right? It's true. Our friends in New York are suffering in a very different way than our friends in Washington are, than our friends in California are, than our friends here in Tennessee, where we live now, are. It's a very different experience, and we're all on this journey trying to figure out the right thing to do, trying to take care of one another. Just like my song says, you know, I wrote that verse today, which was the one about remember how we wouldn't let each other go. That's truly how I feel. We're here trying to keep our connections, trying to love one another, and it hasn't been easy, but it's been really, it's touched me, and it's really truly brought to light how different this is for everyone. I mean, even in counties, there are different things happening. So just know that as long as we're all doing our best, then, you know, I think that we together will get through this. So, speaking of people that have been on this musical journey with me for a long time, on Thankful Thursday, I want to reach out to one of them right now. I'm going to check in with my friend, guitarist, Grammy Award-winning producer, and a mentor, and just part of our extended family. I want to see if Larry Mitchell might be around. Maybe he is. Maybe we can talk to him. Are you home? Everybody's home. Is Larry home? Is Larry home? Can we talk to Larry, please? Hi. It's so good to see you, friend. How are you?
Whew, sorry.
Larry Mitchell. Larry Mitchell. Thanks for being on episode 69. 1 more to go, consecutive of our 70, and then everyone sleeps. Kind of. A couple things I want to say before I actually let you talk. You know, I'm a little long-winded, but to start, you know, you have been asking me to do these live shows for, I think, close to 4 years now, and I've tried. I've done a couple things from my house, from my loft. You've done them with me. But you've been such an inspiration from so many years of doing your Tuesday Night Lives, which, you know, brings so much joy and community that when this happened and I thought about going live, I want you to know that I really did look to you and said, you know, Larry does it every Tuesday. It makes people feel better. I mean, my gosh, I see all the comments and the connection, and so I'm so happy that you really were on me to do it. And I mean, you didn't say, Randy, do it every single night, but then you also didn't know there was going to be a pandemic. So anyway, so how are you now that we are 10 weeks in? It was about 9 weeks ago that we spoke. How are you doing? You look great. How are you?
I'm good. First of all, it's amazing that you do this every night and that you do this with your family every night. And it's wonderful. I watch as many times as I can. Sometimes I can't watch the whole show, but I tune in whenever I can, for however long I can, and it's great. It's always uplifting. It's wonderful. You have some great guests. And tonight, you know, Noah, oh my, that was great.
Yeah.
And Tim, can you please ask Tim if we can play a game of catch? With
Not Flannery. If you're watching, Larry wants to play. Okay, that's not at all what I thought you were going to say. But yeah, Larry would like to play catch. No.
I mean, I'd love to play guitar with Tim again, too.
But you've done that. So, okay, so now since it's been a bit, I'm going to revisit a question with you. Same idea. You were one of the first guests that I had on. I think you were like in the first week. So revisiting now that we've been at this maybe a little bit longer than we thought we were going to be, what's something that you've learned now that maybe you didn't ever think was going to be on the horizon, you know, 9-10 weeks ago when this started? Something that you'll take out of this that you learned that you definitely know now was part of this time.
Wow. That I have to pay attention to how much I work, because I've actually been working more, I think, than during the lockdown than in the beginning of the year. And I used to work a lot last year. So I need to take more breaks. Because it's good for the mind. And if you take too many breaks, if you're just lounging around watching TV and eating ice cream like I've done sometimes, that's not good either. And I think I've been talking to lots of friends about how some are dealing with situations. And for ones, I think, that are not working from home, without a routine, it seems to be a little harder.
Yes.
You can lose track of days, time, priorities, and then also I think frustration builds up with a lot of people. Because I've just been talking, just from experience talking, whereas I go through those things as well, but it's different and not as much because I've been working on my own record. I've been working on doing live streams with different people and stuff, and doing different Facebook page takeovers, and so it feels like I'm doing stuff, and it feels like I haven't really stopped, other than I haven't been out of the house in a really long time.
Yeah, and also it's funny because we talk all the time, and we text and we message, but it's true, your office is in your home space. I mean, it really is, and it has been. So that part of it for you, the touring part is stopped. But the part of your, producing is right there where you are. So you could actually wake up every morning and just go to the office all day long, which is no good for you either, And I agree with you. For our sweet friends out there that are particularly small business owners, particularly in the service industries, especially here in Nashville, Music City, where we are service industries, and they work in conjunction with music industry, it's very hard because they're not able to do that from their home space. And we always joke about, we love our watering holes, and I have my song Happy Hour in Heaven about that, but those spaces are so much more than a place to go and get a drink. They're a community, they're family. So I absolutely feel you. I think that's been hard for people, and that's a good perspective to take some time for self-care, because if you don't, you could be working morning to night in your home, right there.
We're kind of done.
Yeah. Well, maybe take a break. So, and are you missing touring? Has that been something that you've been missing? I mean, I know the break is always good. You were going crazy. I mean, talk about international. You were I couldn't catch you. I could not catch you. Maybe like a day at NAMM, but have you been finding that you're like me? I'm talking to my suitcase. I'm kind of getting ready to get back out there.
I miss certain things about traveling and touring, but I've been okay just not going out for now. It feels like I'm gigging a lot because there's one week I did five YouTube and Facebook live shows.
Larry!
That's my own show. And,
Gigging.
so I've gigged. And you know how hard it would be to gig 5 nights in a row for me?
Wait, you're gonna love this. So last night after our live show, I did an amazing sort of open singer-songwriter showcase for TSAI, Tennessee Songwriters Association International. I got a link, and we were like halfway, we just started dinner, and the link came through, come on in and pop on for 3 songs. So I brushed my teeth, and I straightened my hair, and I ran upstairs. We did the gig, it was great, it was wonderful. I played some songs I haven't played for a bit, played the rest, played a few new ones. And I went downstairs and I looked at Andrew and I said, oh gosh, these gigs where we don't have to lug the keyboard, or really he doesn't have to lug the keyboard, this is pretty nice.
Yes.
Yeah, no, it is. But of course, they're great, and of course we're doing them because it's a way to stay connected. But there's, of course, nothing like the real energy of a real audience. I mean,
Right.
we're all missing that. So, well, I'm so happy to see you. You know how much I love you, how much you mean to me. When this is over, I can't wait to do house concerts again, to record more music, to just do all of it. I want to do all of it.
Yeah.
And so tonight, we're winding down to our nightlies. We're going to do one more nightly tomorrow, the 70th, Fun Friday, and then Saturday I'm actually going to do a house concert. I'm going to finally do the requests that people have been asking for. I'm just going to sit at my piano and sit at my keyboard and do some Randi Driscoll music, many songs that Larry Mitchell has produced over the many years that we've been working together, and just kind of tell the stories behind the songs, But as we, reach the end of this, I had to kind of look to where we were. And today my husband and I were noticing, Andrew and I were noticing that the numbers are skyrocketing of the cases. And it's a milestone that we didn't want to break. No one wanted to get over 100,000 people that have passed on from this. And immediately, Truth, I thought of your beautiful song. And so I called into Larry this morning and I said, I know it's last minute and I know you're doing 27 gigs a night now, but would you share this song? Can you, I feel like it's best if you maybe introduce the song that we're going to see and hear so that people kind of know where it came from in your heart when you wrote it.
For the last probably close to 10 years, it's been a balance. As we get older, I'm 55, you start to lose friends and sometimes family. And for a while, it was coming in at a rapid rate, I thought. Now it's coming at an extremely accelerated rate. But so I had a piece of music, wasn't sure, I knew what it was doing to me, but I wasn't sure what I was going to call it until I had an encounter with a friend who brought her guitar over for me to play that he used to belong to her father. And that's when that came to me, the title. And then I asked people like you and asked friends to send me pictures or video of someone that they've lost. And I put it together for the music video. Unforgotten is about remembering friends and family that have passed on. And like I said, the rate, when I thought it was moving pretty fast, the amount of people, it's just been going way more since then. And I have to say, I grew up in Brooklyn first and then Far Rockaway, Queens. And I watched a documentary the other day about Far Rockaway is the number 2 place for COVID deaths in New York City. Mm. And I know, not necessarily super friends, but I know 28 people now that I know of. And that's only because a few people will contact me and let me know, or I've seen up on Facebook or Facebook friends that passed on. Then you do more digging and find out what happened and stuff. But those are the people I know. There's people I'm pretty sure I went to high school with. I had no way of checking in on people, but that's pretty heavy. And then I know some other people I know that have lost people in their family that I never met and stuff. So it's a pretty heavy time.
And I do think, Larry, just because now we've been doing this for so many nights and reaching out to so many of our friends all over, that I do think that people who have a connection to the East Coast, like Jersey over here, New York, We're really, I have expressed on this show that several friends of mine that I went to high school with have lost their parents to this, and so it does have something to do with the New York area being hit, the tri-state area being hit so hard. So, well, I was thinking of this song. I've always loved this song. It's hard to listen to, and at the same time, it's beautiful to listen to, which is exactly what music does. You know, it makes you feel all the feels. And I appreciate you sharing it with us tonight, and I can't wait to hear it. You know how much I love you. Your music heals. It's always been healing me, not just what you do with my music, but your music has been really healing to me. So I appreciate, of course, I appreciate you sharing it, and we're going to play it for our audience right now. And until I see you again, and we can hug when you're in Nashtown, Nash Vegas, please stay safe, okay? I need you.
Yeah, you too.
I need you. Okay. I love you, Larry.
Love you too, lady. Bye.
So this is a beautiful song that, well, Larry explained it. I don't need to explain it again. He gathered some pictures together for a video tribute to people who had lost people, and his music is soothing and reflective, and it makes you think. And this is Unforgotten. We're going to share it with you right now. This is Larry Mitchell.
Thank you, Randy, for having me on the show. And it's good to play for, I remember, friends and family.
Aww, yeah, that's our Larry Mitchell. Standing ovation from Skylar Faith in the corner. The corner's going crazy. Yeah, so much love coming out to Larry. Beautiful. No lyrics needed for that emotion, right? Isn't that amazing? He sometimes when he does shows with me, we'll do a round, kind of like a National Songwriter round thing, and when it gets to him, he'll say, "No, I'm not going to sing." You know what? He doesn't need to. You feel so much with that song, and it was a perfect wrap. It was a perfect ending for this night. I'm so blessed by the people that I know, and I'm so blessed for all of you that have been checking in with us every night. And this has been amazing. I love seeing all of you. I don't get a chance to say hello because you come. I have this tiny little screen to see you on, and that thing doesn't go as fast. And so I try to say hi as much as I can, but I can't. But when I try to go back in later, sometimes the comments are gone, but I see that many of you from all over the place are checking in. Thank you. It does my heart good to know that you're safe, and this community has been really beautiful. It's been so good for me to share this with my family. Let's remember the beautiful charities that we highlighted tonight. Of course, Shepard Foundation, Erase Hate. I've got all my Erase Hate bracelets on tonight. I've got the the OG Erase Hate, that's right. Oh, please, the nails haven't been done in months. And then I've got the new Erase Hate. And please, I can't even imagine the next time I'm going to get a manicure. Oh. Remember those? They were great.
Oh.
I know, they were wonderful. Skylar's, she says, manicures. Everything's a song. Manicures, never mind a pedicure. But you know what? Those are not real problems. Those are just things that we talk about, but that's not what's real. What's real is what's going on with all of the people all over the world that are still suffering, and us here in Nashville. Wow, it got gloomy. Trying to open up and trying to be safe, and all these small businesses and music places trying to open their doors and do the right thing. It's been great. I'm gonna one more time. I'm gonna sing this chorus because Larry made me think of it. This is the new song, and I just want to tell you because that made me know that we're gonna be okay, and so now we hug a little longer, yeah, we kiss a little stronger, treat our neighbors and a stranger as our friend. We'll all be a little kinder, and the earth is a reminder where hope and beauty live. Where hope and beauty live, love has no end. No end. Thank you guys. This is I'm getting all the feels are happening. Skylar's ready. She knows her part. Tomorrow is Fun Friday. It's our last Fun Friday for a while, and then we will be coming to you weekly. We're gonna come once a week, and we're gonna how about this? We're gonna have a calendar of all of the guests. We're gonna have theme nights. There's gonna be a luau night. There's gonna be country night. Of course, we live in Nashville, Music City, and we already have it kind of planned out that when I love you, baby. That when on Christmas night, don't forget Christmas night, that when we are able to bring our guests in live, which hopefully will be sooner rather than later, we will do that when it's safe. We'll have live guests, and then we'll still reach out virtually to the people that don't live in Nashville. So it's a cool thing. We'll come to you once a week, and we will put a calendar out of everything that we're doing. Saturday night, I'm doing a house concert, musical music from the living room, finally doing the requests, just like I do. Like sometimes I do at Christmas.
Every Christmas.
Every Christmas, actually. Okay, you want to do it? Go ahead.
Your
vibe
attracts your tribe.
And we love our tribe. Thankful Thursday. Thank you, Tim Flannery. Thanks for coming down from the mountain or staying up in the mountain and just coming to us. Love Harder Project. Thank you, Greg Miraglia, Shepard Foundation. Thank you. I have no idea what you're eating, except that you're eating.
She wants to show her
Oh, a
heart.
heart. There you go for the Love Harder. I thought she was eating her. And thank you, Larry Mitchell. Thank you, Noah Heldman, for checking in. Wise words of wisdom. Love you guys, and we'll see you tomorrow for episode 70, the last nightly Facebook Live. Bye.